It's finally that time of the season. FNCS Grand Finals is here, and in this video, I'm going to be going over both the EU and NA drop map and looking at the notable off-spawn fights, and also making some predictions for how I think teams will do on both regions, and try to predict who will win both regions' FNCS Grand Finals this season. Now, if you don't know, the FNCS Grand Finals format has changed from last year. This year will feature 2 different point formats for each day, and on day 1, it will be the normal 65 points for a win and 4 points per elim, just like we've had for the past year. And then on day 2, there will be a 50% point increase, and the format will be 100 points for a win and 6 points per elim. So we're about to see some insane comebacks and pop-offs on day 2, similar to how Grand Royale went in Chapter 2. Let me know your thoughts on this new format Fortnite is testing out for Grands this season. And now let's get into the predictions and the map. Starting off with the EU map and notable contest we will be seeing this weekend, we have to of course start off with Mongraal and Mr. Savage, who will be contested by Lane and Nate. And no, this is not the French Nate, who is a veteran on EU, but this is a player and a duo who will be playing in their first Grands ever. I'm going to give the edge to Mongraal in this fight, given their experience in Grands and the experience at the drop spot itself. But it's not going to be the best time for either of these teams, as they will most likely be getting cleaned up by the team landing at the underground tunnel part of this drop. So I'm not expecting much out of Mongraal this weekend. As for a prediction for Mongraal and Mr. Savage, I would be pretty surprised to see them do exceptionally well this weekend, and I see them getting anywhere from 25th to 35th. Let me know down in the comments your expectation for that duo this weekend. And now moving on, let's look at the next off spawn we have. We have Thomas HD and Queasy versus Noms and Cringe at Lavish Lair. This is another one like the Mongraal fight, veterans versus a team in their first Grand Finals. Now I'm not sure how this one's going to play out and if Cringe is going to actually fight for the Mythic or try and split the drop, but I'm expecting Thomas and Queasy to do super well this weekend, and they're actually my favorites to win on EU this season. Thomas HD in a sniper meta, combined with being IGL'd by Queasy and an insane auto shotgun mythic, I think this is the season Thomas HD gets it done and ends his drought of never winning an FNCS Grand Finals. Looking at some of the South contests on the map, we have Badil and Rezon versus Pixie and Wox and Teeny and Misha at Snooty Steps. And we also have Andalex and Sato versus Noah Riley and Aqua. The Aqua versus Andalex fight is a battle of OGs within the EU scene and a battle of some huge fan bases as well. This is going to be very interesting to watch this weekend, and I'm really hoping to see Aqua and Noah Riley do well in Grands. As for the Snooty fight, I'm not too sure how this fight's going to go, and if it will be Rezon versus Teeny and Wox gets the vault, Uncon, or who will be fighting, so we'll just have to see how this one plays out. Other off spawns we have is King and Phaser being triple contested in their first EU Grands. It was never going to be easy for them, and sadly, they will be triple conned. They'll be fighting both Luxon and Monet, and Gabix and Belusi, so I'm not expecting much from all 3 of these teams. I see King and Phaser doing the same as Mongraal this Grands, which is not too well, but being contested is really hard, especially being triple contested. We also have Pink and Vico being contested by Kiro and Kadu in Grands as well. Pink and Vico have been predicted to do well by a lot of people, and even at one point were being predicted to be one of the favorites this season. We'll see how they do in this battle for the 100% forecast tower spawn. I still see them doing well, but I think winning this Grands will be quite hard to do for them. I want to give some predictions now for EU and who I think will be getting top 5. And starting off with my FNCS favorites to win it all, Thomas HD and Queasy. As I mentioned earlier in the video, I think having Mythic Auto Shotgun, along with the combination of a sniper meta and Thomas HD, I think this is the season for Thomas to finally get a win. In second place though, I would think it will be Cammy and Seti. Now I wouldn't be surprised if they do get the win this season, but I think if you were to take either this duo or Queasy and Thomas, I would have to give the edge to Queasy due to a better drop and map positioning, but we will see how that plays out. In third place, I'm going to have to say Giannis and Flixie. I think with them getting Uncon Mythic at Reckless Railways. Moving on to fourth place, I have Malibuka and Merstash, one of the best teams on EU, and I think if they have a clean weekend off spawn and do not die early, this could be one of the favorites to win Grands. Fencing at times can be a tricky one though, as there are a lot of surrounding teams to the POI, so I'm going to have to go with a safe fourth place here for Malibuka. And then rounding out my top 5 predictions on EU, I have Ping and Mixon, who will be landing underneath Lavish Lair this weekend. I think this could be a very underrated team on EU this weekend. I know you see me not predicting Tayson and Vino, and you may think I might be crazy, but to be honest, I have never been sold on that duo. I do not expect them to top 5, but I would not be surprised if they do end up getting it, given their reputation as players. If you missed my predictions for Mongraal and King earlier in the video, I'm expecting both of these duos to probably get bottom 25 given their off-spawn situations. Sucks that they are contested, but that's just how it goes sometimes. Comment down below your top 5 on EU for this weekend, as well as how you think both the duos of Mongraal and King will do. But moving on, let's take a look at the NA map and also talk about some of the NA contests we will be seeing this weekend. Starting it off with Diego plays in G-Money, potentially contesting Clix and Epic Whale. I personally just do not see this happening, as Diego plays in G-Money are used to landing south of this drop where Skittles and Trashy are currently. And this is the drop I see Diego landing this weekend. But if they do end up landing Lavish Lair, I do not see them fighting every game. And if they do fight, I give Clix a massive upper hand in the fight. It's going to be a wait and see game to see what Diego and G-Money end up doing though. Next, we have the FNCS Global Champions Cooper and Miro getting contested by Sinetto and Veer. There are a lot of really good NA teams being contested this season, and this is an interesting contest because I haven't seen Cooper and Miro contested at this drop yet this season, so I really don't know how good they are here. I'd still probably give them the upper hand in the fight, given their level of skill though. Moving down to the south side of the map, we have mini contests everywhere. Acorn and Cold will be fighting Impin and Mason this weekend for the main building at Fencing Fields where the mythic boss spawns. I do not expect Acorn and Cold to be fighting every single game, as we have seen this drop triple split before on NA, especially in FNCS semifinals. We'll also be seeing Peterbot and Poyo contested by Moo and Xpawn. Moo and Xpawn will be landing inside the tunnel of this drop, and then I'm sure Peterbot will key them and try to kill them every game. And if I were playing in Grands, Peterbot and Poyo are definitely not the most ideal team to have keying at you, so good luck to Xpawn because they're going to need it. Now moving on to the snow side of the map, we have Jiven and his duo Piggle versus Chimp and Scissor. Jiven has a lot of people rooting for him this weekend, and I'd love to see him do well, but it's not looking great for them. They will be fighting off spawn while also having Reet rotating over to get the forecast tower and potentially cleaning up this fight if there is a shambles duo or solo survivor left. People have been asking me how I think Jiven will do this weekend, and sadly I see them getting bottom 5, but it's still an insane feat just to make it to the grand finals. And the last off spawn I'm going to talk about in NA, we have Ducky and Encrypted versus Duke and Threats. We saw this one in the FNCS semifinals, and I'm expecting Duke and Threats to continue to win this one consistently. It's crazy that 3 of the 4 FNCS winners from last chapter from NA are contested in this grand finals. I still see all these teams placing well, but certainly not as well as they would if they were uncon. Now let's predict my top 5 teams for this weekend on NA, and starting with my favorites to win, Kanata and Agers. I'm predicting this duo to go back to back, and being uncon for this duo means you can expect great placements from them. In Chapter 4 Uncontested, they were 1st and 2nd place in Grands, and I think they're about to add another 1st to that. Next and second, I'm going to have to say Rise and Iamzo. Sadly, I still don't think they're going to get their FNCS win, but I definitely think it is possible for them to win this season. We have to see what happens, but I'm giving the slight edge to the reigning NA champs Kanata and Agers because they are proven winners. Moving on to third, I have Peterbot and Poyo. I think this duo will benefit heavily from the 2-day format and could even win because of that format. I would be shocked if this duo doesn't have the most eliminations this weekend, but I'm kind of concerned they will play too aggressive and die early more than other teams, and this cost them the FNCS win. Next in 4th place, I have Reet and Ritual. Similarly to Peter, I have them benefiting from the day 2 format a lot. This is another team that can drop high elimination games and even high elimination wins, so this is definitely a team that could even win this weekend, but I'm also concerned about their consistency. And then 5th place is very hard to predict due to the amount of good teams still left and good teams contested, but I'm going to have to say Acorn and Cold here. Yes, they are contested, but I think with how the off spawn is going to play out, they could still have enough end games to be competitive and get top 5. I could see Acorn placing anywhere from 5th to 10th place though, so anything could happen. Talking about some of the other big name teams on NA, let's talk with Clix and Epic Whale. I could see this duo getting anywhere from 5th to 15th place. They have a very shambles strategy they use to get height every game, no matter how many mats they have as a duo, and I'm just not a huge fan of it, but it sometimes gets the job done. I see way too many 10th places from them in games, so they aren't really getting the most points per game, so it's really hard to see them doing too well, but I think if everything does go right for this duo, this is definitely Clix's best chance to win Grands in his career. This duo is very reliant on early game refreshes though, or else they have 0 mats by the end of first moving. So we'll just have to see how it plays out for them this weekend. Then another team I want to talk about is Asian Jeff and Oliver OG. I think this drop spot is going to give them trouble, so I'm going to have to say Oliver and Jeff get bottom 25 this weekend. They are uncon though, so anything could happen, but I just see them struggling with Surge based on how edge they are in the map, with not many teams surrounding them. Then the last team I want to talk about is Bugha and Aviv landing south of Fencing Fields. Haven't gotten to see a lot of this duo, especially at this drop because they were contested here, and also landing Snooty and Yacht for FNCS semifinals. So I think they will probably place around 15th to 8th place this weekend. It is Bugha though, so never count him out in the end. Comment down your top 5 predictions for NA and let me know your thoughts on how the big name teams will place. I am going to have both of these drop maps down in the description below, so make sure to go check them out if you want to see the drop maps for yourself and see if they update. Hopefully this weekend is filled with huge moments and insane finishes. And as always, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications to never miss a video just like this one or a comp recap. And also, if you did enjoy this video, make sure to drop a like so it gets pushed out to more people. I'm going to be streaming grands this weekend on Fortnite Comp Report on Twitch, so if you want to come watch me, I'm going to be doing giveaways for mouse pads, potentially even some jerseys and V-Bucks. So if you want to watch me, come to my Twitch this weekend. It should be a pretty fun time. That's going to do it for me in this video, guys. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.